If you're interested in trading with BetAngel, then visit our website where you can download a free trial of BetAngel Professional and BetAngel Trader. If you want to learn how to use them, then visit the Academy where we give you a detailed, structured walkthrough of each product. And if you're an existing user, then head on over to the forum where we have a load of files for you to download to customize and use within BetAngel.
So let's create a simple lay betting bot. The purpose of doing this is just to give you an indication of something basic to do that you can then expand upon if you so wish. Obviously we need to bring up Guardian because Guardian is where the automation is. So if we click on there, that will bring up Guardian, and then we can start creating our automation that is going to change the world. And what we need to do is we can highlight any market in this list. Then we just do create a new rules file for the selected market. That will bring up a dialog box, and then we can start telling BetAngel what we want it to do. So if I click on pin as well, that keeps the rules editor always on top. If you don't do that, it may disappear if you click on another part of BetAngel. And then we need to create the rule. So the first part of what we want to do is we want to place a lay bet. So we'll call this bit place a lay bet so that we know exactly what we're doing. And the rule type that we're going to use here is to place a lay bet. You can see all of the different rule types that we have available here. There are loads of them, but we just want to keep it simple and place a lay bet. We're going to select event start time. So we're going to place this bet, let's say 1 minute before start time, and it goes to the start time of that particular event. We're only going to trigger it once. And what we're actually going to do here is, you see it says applies to selection. What we're actually going to do here is we're going to select any selection. And you're going to think, why are you placing a lay bet on any selection? I will explain that in a second. The parameters that we need are basically how are we going to place the bet. So you can see here fixed price bet, best market price. There's so many variations on here. Again, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to say best market price. And because we're placing a lay bet, if we place a lay bet for £10, then the liability will be different depending upon which runner we put it on. So because it's a lay bet, we are going to select by a liability. Again, you can see there's a whole range of options here. So we're basically saying any lay bet that we place will have a maximum liability of £10. So the liability is fixed and the return is not fixed. We'll get a variable return depending upon what price the lay bet gets matched at. We're not going to apply global settings. If I click apply now, you'll actually see that appear within the container up here. But what we need to do is, on its own, that will not do what we require. So we need to apply some conditions to it. So I'm going to add a new condition. Here are all of the condition types. Again, you can see we've got a whole range of different conditions available within this particular market. And what we're going to do within here is we're going to add a fixed odds condition. So we're going to basically say the price on this particular runner, and you can see here we've selected any selection, the lay price is less than 10. So we're going to basically say we want to lay something at 10 or below. In fact, what we're saying there is we're saying less than 10. So in fact, on this particular market, it wouldn't lay because that is at 10.5. But the way that BetAngel works, because we're using this any selection criteria, is it will look at runner 1, it will look at runner 2, it will look at runner 3, it will look at runner 4. So at the moment, if we just implemented this, it would lay the favourite. So what we need to do is add another condition, and we're basically going to say fixed odds condition, any selection, the current lay price is greater than, let's see what we can do here. We're going to say it's greater than 6, because that will basically lay this one. It will look at that, and that's not greater than 6, less than 10, greater than 6, less than 10, no, greater than 6, less than 10, yes. And then the position, you can see, gets managed from there. And we can add other conditions in there as well. So because we're using any selection, we basically only want it to place one particular bet. So what I'm going to say to it as well is the number of bets, there we go, number of matched bets. So we're saying the number of match bets on the market, you can see here, is equal to 0. So it's saying, check on here, do we place a bet? No. Check on here, do we place a bet? No. Check on here, do we place? Yes, we do. Check on here. Oh no, actually, we've already got a bet in the market. So that's what we're saying. We're saying if there are no bets in the market, then you can go ahead and place this particular bet. Now you can apply other conditions. So the way that the conditions work is it's basically doing an and, if you're looking at it from a logical perspective. So it's saying lay price is lower than 10 and the lay price is greater than 6 and there are no bets within the market. So you can actually add in a whole load of different conditions within here as well. So we even have a stall draw, a text comparison condition. So it's saying the market name does not contain. You could put something like the market is not a maiden, or you could actually start specifying certain things within there. The only reason I'm showing you this is so that you can actually see that there are other conditions that you can put within the market. But you can see there are a whole range of conditions that you can apply in there. So maybe one that we would want to put in there is in play. The market is not in play. Now, it's not going to be in play because we've only asked it to run for 1 minute before the start of this race. But of course, the it's just like a safeguard, really, effectively. So it's up to you what you want to put in there. You don't have to put this in there, but I'm putting it in there for demonstration purposes. So again, I will apply that, and that makes sure that it gets contained up here. And what I'll probably do on here as well, just so that we can ensure that the bet gets placed at exactly what we want, I'm going to increase that window to 5 minutes. So again, I will apply that. And then I need to save this rule. So I need to give it a rule. So we would call this my lay betting bot. And then I can close that window. And you will see that it appears now in the drop down menu at the top of the editor that we have here. And I'll close that. And if we want to apply it to a market, what I can actually do is just go up to the automation rules and then actually select that from there. So this is now actively monitoring this market at Kempton, and it's basically looking for the odds to be above 6 and below 10. So at the moment, it would trigger on this one because this is above 6 and below 10, and it wouldn't trigger on these two or the favourite. Now that this is 6, we need it to move to 6.2 to be above 6. But can you see, we'll see in a second when it reaches 5 minutes exactly what happens within this market. If we created a rule, then we can actually select the rule from up here and then apply rules to all markets. So basically if I click on this, you can see it just applies that right across all of the markets. And that basically means that BetAngel will go through the entire day and place the this particular rule on that particular market. Now, if you want to, you can create loads of different rules with different criteria looking for different things and then apply them individually. So you could actually apply different bots to different markets. And that's recommended. It's worth doing that simply on the basis that you may have strategies that work well in one market and not the other. So we're coming up to the 5 minute window that we asked it to operate within. And we'll see within a second it will place a bet in this particular market based upon our criteria. So at the moment that would be on Riot, but it all depends upon that split moment that it decides to go into the market. I would recommend placing bets, there it goes. I would recommend placing bets close to the off because that's when the market is most likely to be efficient and you're most likely to capture value, but it's entirely up to you. It all depends upon what you want to do. So you can see it's put that position within the market. We can click on the match bets to confirm exactly what it did. If we want to, we can actually skip into that market and you can actually see that it's placed a lay bet on Riot to a liability of £10, which will give us a £2 profit if anybody else goes on to win on this particular race. But you can see that we did that via Guardian. The editor, if I just bring that back up again, will reassess exactly what we did in this market. We asked it to trigger in a 5 minute window on any selection. We asked it to place a £10 lay bet. The £10 is by liability. So that limits any losses that you're likely to get when you have a lay bet within the market. It's important to consider that. And the conditions we've applied is we're saying if the lay price is above 6 and the lay price is below 10 and there are no other bets in the market and the market is not in play, off you can go and place that bet. So yeah, relatively quick video, relatively simple piece of automation. You can make it as complex as you like, but if you want to experiment and play around with the concept of lay betting or with automation or with both, that is the way that you would do it.